Welcome to our interview series where we speak to champions of digital trust. Who are you and why should we trust you?
I'm Francois Pelletier, so I'm a consultant. I'm based in Quebec, in Canada. And why should we trust me? My backstory is that I have been involved in open source stuff, privacy stuff since a long time, more than 10 years. And I find it really, really important, especially when we begin to have more data events like data leaks and cybersecurity stuff. And slowly, I saw the legislation moving. I was following GDPR stuff from here like 6, 7 years ago. And I found that, okay, we need this kind of legal infrastructure to kind of motivate people to learn about privacy and security. And now it's getting here, and we are beginning to have those kind of legislation. But I want to protect small business because I think the small business are really vulnerable in the digital era. So that's my motivation.
Because they're high risk, they don't have the internal resources, and also probably are so focused on running their business, they don't have time to go and find
Yeah,
out what they don't know. They don't have big data privacy teams or lawyers focused on these issues. New
yeah,
legislation, threats.
yeah, and often small business don't even have a dedicated IT team, so
Mm.
they're not at the point where they will have someone dedicated to security. And as we see, they are more and more targeted because often they can be a stepping stone toward one of their client, which would be a larger company, which is the
Mm.
ultimate target for cyber criminals. So that's something I tell people. So sometimes you think your data, you're small, it's not really important, but it's important. It has value because cyber criminal want to have a mass of data to build scenario to attack larger companies. And
Well,
even if you protect yourself, and if your friend around you or your people like you send email to don't protect themselves, you're vulnerable because like it's a team sport. Like privacy is a team sport. If you protect yourself, that's fine, but other people need to protect you and you need to protect other people too. So that's the kind of mindset I want to implement, especially in a place like here in Quebec where all small business kind of work together because we're not a large community. We're especially with our cultural background, we are the French Canadian speaker, and we have a strong like small business network here, and I see we are all interdependent one to another. So that's something that really I really care about. I really care about uh, having our small business here as secure as possible and make sure people are aware of the privacy issues with sharing personal data without understanding how this data is used. So
well, that's a noble purpose, and I love the fact that you said it's a team sport, so everyone's got to
yeah,
collaborate together to try and solve the problem. It really does resonate with me. So, next question: how do you or your organization contribute to trust in the digital world? You have spoken about it, but I'd love to hear a bit more.
yeah. So I'm a small consultancy, so I'm kind of a freelancer. We don't name it this way in Quebec, but I'm a freelance. And the way I want to bring privacy in small business is uh, mostly, I think that we should at some point replace that patchworks of software as a service that they're cheap, so people usually go for them. They have a free tier before paying for a larger tier, and they end up having a lot of them. So they lose awareness of where their data and their customer data is. And I think a better way would be to bring back the compute and the software locally. So on the first step would be to bring them back into our legislation, which is Quebec. In Canada, the data legislation is by province, so on the Quebec level. Then bringing people to use self-hosting for cloud software, so software that is available as self-service for the customers, their website, their e-commerce, that kind of stuff. So having it locally, at least on self-hosting, so infrastructure that they not necessarily that they own, but at least they rent the server, so they know where it is located. They have a control of what's in, what's out. And then also, why not bring the most compute on our computers? We're a small business. We don't need to have distributed large system. We can do a lot of stuff on our powerful local laptops, and I think we some kind of forgot that we have powerful machines that we can do a lot of stuff locally, and the best place for privacy is home, and it's the same thing for the computers. So
There's a lot.
that's
There's a lot to
the
be
way I
said.
think. We are a small business, so maybe we can bring back the stuff home
I
or
think that's
in our
incredible.
business. Yeah.
I think as SaaS kind of began to eat the world, everyone
Yeah.
expected a very simple third-party solution to manage all aspects of their business, from distribution, logistics, e-commerce, manufacture, drop shipping. All, I mean, they're majoritively for retail businesses, but you can pretty much find a SaaS solution for any aspect of your business. And I totally get the point about, as soon as you do have all of these interconnecting SaaS products. I come from an ad network background, so I understand that very convoluted ecosystem that exists around ad networks. And within that, fraud can happen. Within that, you lose track of where your data is. And that's absolutely true. So you want to get back to native. I think that's really important. Now, the third and final question is a great one. It was a Lydia Canab question. If you had a magic wand, what would be the one thing that you would change in today's digital world? I think we did touch on it, but have you got anything else?
One thing I could change with a magic wand would be to everyone having their like own data server or own data store that is easy to control, and then easy to give approval to use this data. So it comes back to self-hosting your data, but I talked about it on the business side, but I think we should also go to the customer side, the citizen side, the family, the people, the friends side of things, where you can instead of like sharing your family album on Facebook, you, you have this capacity to share it on your platform, that and then just clicking a box, share with friends, and it's share with
Yeah,
friends, and
yeah,
it's all managed behind the scenes. But it's you can stop everything, and the thing is that the data doesn't spread around, it stays locally, and other people, like with the Fediverse, Mastodon and company, they access to your data through their instance, and they think out there in the internet, but it's not. It's locally hosted on your machine. So I would go the Fediverse path, but in a more user-friendly way. So this is my magic wand.
So Fediverse or data sovereignty.
Yeah, yeah.
Love that. And then we'll finish up with, how can people find out more about what you're doing, Francois? Where can they get hold of you?
My main social place is LinkedIn. So I'm on LinkedIn. It's the best place to maybe start reading my opinions, my stuff, sharing about my business. I'm pretty involved in conversation, so it's easy to put like just hit me on a publication in the comments, and I will jump in the conversation. I really love to do that, to participate on the network. Other than that, I have my website. So my business is named Je Valide Ça, so it's a French name. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek to use the .ca domain. So in English, it would mean I check this, I validate this. So this it fits with the privacy or security stuff that I'm working with. And outside of that, I also have other social networks, mainly Instagram, but like it's more casual. But for privacy stuff, really, it would be on LinkedIn. Or I can also join Slack or Discord or that kind of initiative. So just invite me and I will jump in. I really like to learn about new communities. So that's the best way to reach me. Uh, for now, I know it's not the most privacy aware place, LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is the place where professional, especially in
Yeah.
privacy, are. That's where the community is. So yeah, pretty
Thank
much.
you, Francois. This has been a real pleasure to speak to you. We'll say goodbye and catch up with you hopefully very, very soon to talk about some of the work that we're doing and hopefully get you involved.
Yeah, thanks.
Francois, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week.
Yeah, you too.
Cheers, Francois.